Shout out
Congratulations, bro. W's in the chats, boy. His first 20K a month. That's sick, bro. You were working for a channel with like 20 million subscribers as an editor.
Yeah.
How did you get that clients?
I think a lot of it was just slowly moving up what I call the client ladder. So it's, you work with guys with like 100 subscribers, and then you put that on your portfolio. You work with someone with 200 subscribers, because now he's trusting you. And then it's like 1,000, then 10, then 100,000, and it just slowly moves up like that. And once you're with the larger guys, I've found that it's more just a word of mouth thing. Like someone will randomly come into your DMs and you ask where they came from, and oh, this guy recommended you.
Absolutely. I haven't hired anyone in a long time from any kind of application or anything. It's just I message 2-3 guys that I know who are well connected, and I tell them like, get me an editor who can do this, get me someone who can do this, and they connect it. And that's the highest level guys aren't going on Fiverr or YouTube jobs or anything, like doing Indeed posts or anything.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really good to start out. It's just one of those things where at first, what I like to call it is being like a vulture. You kind of just go, if there's any meat, you go for it. And it's just, you don't have any leverage when you start out, which is completely fine. But after a while, yeah, it becomes more of they come to you.
Wow. How long did it take you? So you started video editing. How long till you made your first 10K?
So I started, my first ever client was February 2021. So literally it is my 3-year anniversary in 2 days.
Wow, congratulations.
That was for $2.50. Well, it was for $5 and I got scammed for half of it. So $2.50 was my first commission. And my first 10K month was December 2022, sorry.
Okay, so about 1 year and 10 months it took you.
Yeah, about 2 years, yeah.
Okay. What do you think because there's many video editors who never even make more than 1K a month or so. There's many, guys who are trying to start and they never even get their first clients. What do you think you did differently around this time? Like, what was your life like? What was your work ethic like?
It's a good question, yeah. I would say that obsession is definitely something that I had. It was literally like, I would literally, this sounds bad, but I would like miss school days to edit. I wouldn't go out with friends to edit. If I was with my friends, it was about Fortnite or editing, which basically were side by side, because I was in the Fortnite editing space before. It was like, yeah, I would say I sacrificed a lot, but now I'm able to reap the benefits of it. So I'm so glad that I did it when I was younger.
I want to double in on that point. Can you tell us a list of the things you sacrificed to get up to your first 10K?
Sleep was a big one, and I think it was stupid, but it was a necessary evil at the time. And I remember there was like my family went to Paris, they went Disneyland, and it wasn't just my immediate family, it was my cousin's family as well, and we booked the tickets and everything, and literally 3 days before I say I've got a client project, I don't want to lose him, I can't go.
Wow.
They say that we've already booked the tickets, how can you not go? And I said, it's not even about that. I'll give you the money to, like, I'll pay for the ticket, I can't go for because I can't lose it. And I felt horrible because you've got like all my family calling, all my cousins like, where are you? Are you not going to come? Like, why not? Like, oh, it's work, it's not that important. I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry. That was about a year ago, and I say this to the boys, so I coach and stuff as well. I say that there's going to be periods like that. Next week, I'm traveling to London. I'm going to London, and I'm flying in a few of the guys that I coach. The week after that, I'm going Bali, and it's like, I don't think I would have been able to have moments like these if I went to those trips like Paris with my family last year.
Wow. It reminds me of when I first started. I was trying to be an entrepreneur whilst living in Manchester, like in the city with my gamer girlfriend. I was living most guys' like dream life. I had a gamer girl. She had a fat ass. I was like enjoying being a degenerate. I just finished university. I fucked maybe like, I don't know, 75 girls in the last few years. I was living like what a degenerate's like dream life is. And I remember it was never enough because I wanted to build the success. I wanted to build my business, and it was just so many distractions. And I remember I debated the decision to leave that apartment and leave that girl for probably around 9 months. So I filled out like 2 full journals just about this one decision because I had such an attachment to her, this girl that I'd lived with and spent almost every day with for 3 years. And so when I broke that attachment, I remember coming home and crying often. My family didn't even know this about me, but I cried when I'd be brushing my teeth. I'd feel so depressed because I was so used to this girl who used to be next to me to brush our teeth every single morning for 3 years straight. I made that sacrifice and it was absolutely worth it. It's one of the things that, like, you know, the hype YouTube video doesn't really talk about when you watch those cringe, like, top 7 ways to make 10K a month, and they just talk, it's just E-Man trying to sell you his agency navigator again, like, but they hype up, oh, you know, here's me with the girls, here's me at the party, I did this, I did this, I did this. But often you don't hear of the dark sides, you don't hear of the imbalance, you don't hear of the fucked up things that you did, that you didn't even speak to your mother, like, for 3 days straight, even though you live in the same house. Yeah, respect for you doing that, brother.
Thank you, Hamza. I really appreciate it, especially coming from someone like you, man. Genuinely, I really appreciate that. And you mentioned about your girl. I think for me it was, I'm already a busy guy, and I told her from beforehand, before we started dating, like, I'm a busy guy. You're not going to be the priority right now, and she appreciated that. And I don't think it was as bad. We weren't as attached as I believe you were with your ex at the time, but I definitely relate to what you're talking about.
What would you say to a young guy who's starting his business? He's at those early stages. Maybe he's not had his first sale yet. And you can imagine he's living kind of a normal life. So he's still hanging out with the same friends, maybe got some bad habits. He isn't sacrificing things like relationships and balance. What would you say?
It's not really a sacrifice at all, I wouldn't say. Just because the people that you're letting go of, a lot of the time, they were never good for you. It's like, I think like, when I was with that girl at the time, bro, I had her while I had my first 10K month. Like, I think I worked amazing with her. I think it was more of a long-term thing. And even my friends now, I've cut off a lot of people. I've maybe got like 4 or 5 really close friends. I don't see the people I stopped talking to as a sacrifice, because when you step back, it's like it was a net positive, if that makes sense. So don't become like a recluse. Chill with people that bring you up. That's all it is.
That's powerful. That's what I've been saying to the young guys in here. That's why I made Adonis Protocol. Because this self-improvement plan that everyone gets on, where you basically just turn into an autist and you can't even speak to other guys. Your body language is all fucked up. You can't hold eye contact with them. You're like facing away from them like an NPC when you talk to people. Like, the amount of young guys, I'll be like, oh, Hamza, I love your videos. And they're like looking away. I'm like, you clearly haven't been taking action on them then, bro. Fucking grab him by the jaw. Look at me, bro. So I think I like what you said is you need, it's not a sacrifice. It's a trade-off. You need to trade the old friends who aren't doing anything with their lives, which I would assume most of us have got. Like, just type 1 in the chat if you feel like you've just got Jeffrey friends. You basically have got no one who's actually on the same path as you. Because most of us have just went to like public school and there's basically just like Jeffreys and degenerates in there. You have to trade them for guys who are actually doing something with their lives, guys who are into business, guys who are working out, guys who are exercising, learning about health and becoming more masculine. Look at the one spamming right now. These guys who have got Jeffrey friends, what are you saying to them?
You might look down on them, but realize that it's still your responsibility to leave. Because a lot of the time, it's not like they're going to do something fucked up to you and then you're given the opportunity to leave. It's like you have to kind of just one day be like, yeah, I've made a choice to stop talking to them. Because otherwise it's like, I think this is me and maybe a lot of other people. You look around at people around you that you kind of like don't respect, or it's like you want to know better people, but you're doing the exact same actions as them. And it's like you haven't distanced yourself. So you're talking shit about this guy that stays on his phone in class, but you're also on your phone in class. Like, instead of at least like, okay, I don't like the school system. I did well, but I really don't like it. But it's like, I say to people, like, study it while you're in school, because you're in there anyways, might as well make it so you don't have to study when you get home. And it's like, you're shitting on this guy for going on his phone, for like wasting time on social media, but you're doing the same thing. You kind of have to actively remove yourself first. And then, have you heard of this idea of the lonely chapter?
What's that?
I was watching this podcast by Chris Williamson and Alex Omosi, and they talked about this idea that every entrepreneur has gone through what they call the lonely chapter. It's where you don't fit in with your old group of friends, but you don't yet have the accomplishments to fit in with the more successful group. So you're stuck in this weird gray zone where you don't really fit in with everyone. So now you're given a decision. You either go back to comfort. You've got the people that will take you with open arms and be like, "Oh, we've got the old Saif back. Like, thank God you're playing again." Or you kind of just sit in that kind of loneliness, and you've kind of got to like just grind your ass off until at least you have a few accomplishments. Like even like if you've made like $50 from your business, that's when someone will take you so much more seriously than making nothing. So yeah, that lonely chapter, it's definitely a thing, and you've kind of got to take that leap of like, okay, I'm going to join this new group.
That's such a good point. You know, in my work, what I've seen with all these young guys who get onto self-improvement, it's like at first you're just surrounded by Jeffries. Even your parents don't even do like any of the good habits. And then you instantly realize like this is the truth. Like porn is bad. Video games are bad. Junk food is bad. And it almost blows your mind to think that other people don't even believe this. And you go through this period where, like you said, you don't relate to the people beforehand, your current friends, your parents, but you aren't good enough to attract the people that you could get in the future because you're not serious enough. The guy that you want to be friends with who's got a six-pack, who can, you know, do like a hard workout, he thinks you're a bitch. Let's just be honest. Like the guy that you actually want to be friends with, like the popular Chad, he thinks you're a loser. The only people who relate to you right now are other losers. And so it's like you either get pulled in by them and stay there, or you traverse the lonely chapter. You basically go through a period of isolation, and it can be brutal because basically you're leaving your tribe, which is a very primal pain to go through. But respect for the guys who've done that. Apart from these trade-offs and sacrifices that you made, what were some of the hardest obstacles that you had during the early days?
I think there's two. I think the first one will be being okay with rejection. People are scared of rejection from other people that they know in person. Business is that 100 times more. You've got to be okay with like everyone not thinking you're shit, like because honestly you want when you first start, and it's being okay with that rejection. Like you don't attach the rejection to your own self-worth, if that makes sense. And just pushing through that. And the second one I would kind of say is when you start seeing some success, it's learning how to not be complacent. Like just thinking in longer time horizons.
That's something that I honestly swear that most of the guys in this call right now aren't prepared for. That you're slowly making progress. It's not fast enough. You're frustrated. You're still fapping, whatever. Before you know it, you're randomly going to cringe at how you just were a few months ago because you've transformed so much. You've been doing all the things. You probably relate to that. It's like every 3 months you cringe at how you just used to be because you're like, holy fuck, I've grown, right? And what these guys aren't prepared for is that soon you're going to start attracting small amounts of success that will keep you complacent. So it's like the first time in your life a girl's into you and she's only basically a 3.5 out of 10. And you start saying like, oh no, Hamza, she's an 11 out of 10. Just shut up. Shut up, bro. Like she's like 35% body fat, tattoos, TikTok brain and everything. But you're like, it's that when it's the first time that you start enjoying a little bit of success, maybe it's money, maybe it's women, or you start going out to parties and you get a bit of a social life. A lot of guys aren't prepared for that willpower that they need. Did you have that moment when you started to make money and then suddenly you didn't have to work as hard?
For me, it was about a year and a half ago. So I'm in first year college. For anyone that's not in the UK, that's around 16 years old. Yeah, late 16. So I'm making about 1K a month. Most money I've ever seen in my life. I'm from like a poor family as well. So it's not like this is literally what my dad used to make while working. And I'm 16. No one else around me has a job, let alone 1K a month. My college used to work in this way where you'd have like lessons throughout the day, and not every single like period would have a lesson in it. So there were times where I would have a lesson at 8 a.m. and my next one's at like 4 p.m. So all that time I was allowed to go out. Every single day it would be me with a couple of other friends going to this shopping mall that's about 40-minute walk away. During this break I'd go just like window shopping. But inevitably, you're around a place like that, you're gonna buy something that catches your eye, and it felt amazing. I'll be honest. Did it probably every 2 days? I'm going shopping. As a guy that literally like my parents couldn't afford me nice clothes. Like it would be such a huge thing on like Eid so Eid is like a Muslim celebration when you'd buy me like they'd buy me nice clothes and I'd wear that for like the whole year. That's like my going out clothes. So shopping was like an addiction for me. And it was only a few months later, 4 or 5 months later, where I'm still doing this whole thing where I'm in my breaks, I'm going shopping. Instead of coming back to college, I'd usually go back home and my mum would open the door and she'd be like, "Oh, you went shopping again." It used to be like the highlight of, I want to say week, but it's more every 2 days. It became this thing where I was no longer happy shopping. And I'm sure you've heard of this concept of hedonic adaptation. It's where, for anyone that doesn't know, it's where you do this thing that was like fun for you. And you've done it to the point where that's your new baseline. That's just that's your normal life now. So now you need more fun. So I'm going shopping, spending money, coming home, and I'm more depressed. And it was weird because I wasn't finding fun, but I couldn't stop. And it took me like a lot of willpower to say like, stop spending on shit that doesn't make you happy. Yeah, I would say that's my sort of experience with like realizing that even if you have success, you're probably going to use it in stupid ways if you've never experienced it before.
Yeah, you made a good point about hedonic adaptation. That's like, remember the video games that used to stimulate you back when we were all like in primary school? And it was just like, I don't know, I'm a bit older than most of you guys, so it was like Sega for me. And then eventually we got a PS2 and those were like simple graphics. Nowadays, when I see little gameplays of like Fortnite and there's just like colors and there's like loot drops and there's loot crates and just fucking dopamine, it can be hard as a young man to avoid that. But I want to ask you then, so you've made incredible progress. You went from, I believe it's the worst city in the UK. You were born where, you lived where Andrew Tate comes from, didn't you, Luton?
Yeah.
And now you just made 20K in a month, which is incredible, bro. How much do you like your life now?
I'll be honest, materially, it hasn't changed. Like, I have this joke even within my friend group, like, I've been wearing the same black t-shirt for 2 years. The black t-shirt and chain. People used to call me an NPC in college because I would wear the same thing. I still wear it. I live in my parents, like this is my parents' home. I would say the thing that's changed is more the ability to buy things. I don't think that materialistic purchases make you happy. I think it's knowing that you can if you wanted to.
Are you proud of yourself?
I would say I'm proud of the younger version of me because I don't know where what I'm doing now will lead me.
What do you mean by that?
Everything that people can see now, so like, okay, the number in a bank account, the Thrive card payments, all of these things, that wasn't me who did that. That was me from 6 months ago. So the actions I'm doing now, I don't know if they'll pay off. Like, I'm hoping they will. Like, everything leads me to think that they will. But I'd say if it came to who I'm most proud of, it would be the older version of me who like started investing in himself, started like working hard as shit. And honestly, I think the biggest thing is allowed himself to see how much money is out there. Because, bro, like, I'm at 20K now. I see this now as the beginning. Like, 20K, bro. Oh, it's just my family. Oh, my days, man. Sorry, I'm fucking lost for words. But it's just the fact that 20K was out of reach. Even 5K, bro. But I think the biggest thing I'm proud of him for is just allowing himself to see how much money is out there with exposing yourself to similar people or people a lot better than you.
What are you doing with the money?
Reinvesting back in and experiences. So essentially I like paying for like basically my own coaches and stuff. So I'd probably spend around 2-3K a month on just like courses, mentors, stuff like that. Another about 5-6K a month goes back into my product. Then the YouTube channel, which the YouTube doesn't make any money on its own, but obviously it's traffic coming in from that. So I'll spend a couple K on that, and the rest is going into like supporting my family and me going on trips and stuff around the world just for experiences. Well, that's something I'm doing more recently now.
Good man, providing for your family. That's awesome, bro. How old are you?
19, just turned 19 last month.
19 years old and providing for your family. I think you should be very proud of yourself, bro. I totally understand what you meant by like feeling the pride for your younger self. I remember in 2021 and 2022, that's what I would journal every morning is like, I'm grateful for younger Hamza because he's the one who's put in the work. And I always used to write something like, I hope that future Hamza is thinking the same thing about me, because you never want to get complacent. And it seems like you've got an incredible path ahead of you. I work like an immigrant. I think you do as well. So it's like, I'm in there for hours. Like, I work like an immigrant.
Oh, shit, wait. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking light's in the way. But anyways, it says work like an immigrant on there.
Yeah. Sweet. I appreciate you coming on, bro. Anything else you want to say to the boys before we end off?
It's all fucking worth it, boys. Like, you'll enjoy your life a lot more once you start working hard. It's shitty for a few months, but future you will be like, fuck, I'm so glad we did it.
If you're a freelance video editor and you want to get more clients, I've got something for you. It's a completely free outreach tracker. It's the same one we use with all our coaching students, and it's going to allow you to be able to send more messages to potential clients, get more replies, and also be able to close them at higher rates. So go get that free tracker in the description. After you signed up for it, I'm going to send it straight to your email. I'm going to give you a bit more information on how I personally help video editors. So if you do want to get more help, you can apply there. But whether you get my further help or not, just go and get the free tracker for now, because at least you're going to be able to run this on your own for a while.